It's like a movement. So we see a lot of stuff, but the unseen is what's reacting to it. This is a scene. This is just, let's say it's a test tube that's part of the chemistry, that's mixing with what can't be seen. We're taking it to be me that's mixing with this, yeah? Me is part of this. This is part of the manifestation. The non-manifestation, what we can't see, it's manifesting, but we can't see it, is now in a dance with what's being seen. It's called having an experience, yeah? So, consciousness, which can't be seen, moving through this, meets things, and then has an experience of things, yeah? Now, what occurs is, what cooks it all up is the conditioning, all the mental, grooves, all the little streaming of mind, yeah? That seems to comprise what you take yourself to be. Identified as a body, but you don't take yourself to be a body usually. You take yourself to be these feelings and these longings and these desires and these passions and these tendencies, yes? Which you can't see. They mix with what's happening here, and it produces a chemical reaction, in a sense, yeah? There's an experience. And most of those experiences are then interpreted in a mental state, framed in the idea of self-centeredness, yeah? So the identification as being a long-lasting, independent, separate entity, which is having this contact, which is not the case. It's not the case. Yeah? This is just something... yeah? So when this is taken to be you, that sets up the frame, and all your reactions to life, all your contact with life, all awareness having contact through a body with things, produces what? Mental states. Yeah? Mental states. And thousands of mental states arise, but they're all framed, most of them, are framed in self-centeredness, which is a very rigid frame which defines your life. Yeah? What you call your life is defined by the frame. It's not defined by what you came in contact with. It's what the reaction was to that contact. Yeah? Which is coming from the unseen. If there was a certain quality with something that you met, yes, and this was an objective experience here, then everyone who met it would have the same return, so to speak. Yes? It isn't. It's all subjectified. It's all, you and I are giving everything the meaning it has. Yes? The body isn't giving it the meaning. What we can't see is giving it the meaning. Yes? So, manifestation and non-manifestation, we're neither of those. Yet both of those, yeah? Because both of those are the activity of what we are, but we're not those things. A living paradigm. Yeah. Oh, paradox only to the thought system that can't figure it out. What we call paradoxes is just based on a faulty system of thought who can't figure things out. So they go, oh, that was a paradox. It's not a paradox at all. To us it's a paradox because we're trying to make sense of it with a very failed system. Yeah? How does this fit into the way I see things? It doesn't. You know? How can I really worked hard and all the shit hit the fan and my life's been terrible? They didn't work hard at all and everything's going great for them. That seems like a paradox to me. Is there certain chosen ones and not therefore I'm an unchosen one? Yeah? This is just a reaction to how things happen from a failed system. Of course it says what it can't figure out. It's paradoxical. I would say if you were looking from there, you would say this is totally paradoxical. How could this possibly be going on? How could it possibly be going on that consciousness, which is expressing through this apparatus, has been hijacked by a mental process being the claimer of everything? I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm feeling, I'm tasting, I'm touching. This is my life. These are my problems. These are my thoughts. Yes? You can't even take a shit when you want, but a very subtle activity. These are my thoughts. I'm doing them. I'm doing them. I can't believe what I'm thinking right now. Isn't there a seeing of the thought first? and then there's a mental reaction to that seeing and then a claiming of it. So therefore we're off, and time is elastic. Yeah? When you're having a good day, time seems to be flying by. Yes? When a bad day, it's crawling. Yeah? In the mind, it's made that gap seem to be so quick that you don't even realize the sense of being aware until your head says, I'm the one who's aware. Yeah? But that, because time isn't real, is an eternity. That thing that seems to pass so quickly in our mental process is an eternity. That pause is it. Yeah? The pause of conscious contact, and then it takes time for the mental process to claim it. Yeah? It seems to us, under the influence of the selfing, that happens so super lightning fast. But someone who's in another state, that's eternity. They're not in it, but that pause is actually what's happening. There's the awareness, being aware of things, and then a huge pause, and that's that. And then the mental process is interpretation. So you have the pause is like what seems to be so quickly, like just a speed bump of the problem running into the problem, becomes this huge long highway. Yeah? So there's awareness of being on, and that becomes a really long, stretched out moment for you. Then you start seeing the mental process instead of seeing from the mental process. You start seeing the selfing, because now you're in a very slow time where you see the mind. It's sort of like the mind has already, it's the first gunslinger that gets killed every second. There's the conscious contact, then the mind's really slow going, I'm the one who saw that. It's like incredibly slow. Yeah? The way most of us are living is, we don't even see it pull the thing. It's like, oh yeah, I'm the one. This is mine. I am really fucked up. I did this. It's this way. It's so slow. You see it, you see it, and there's no you seeing it. There's just seeing of it. And yet it still fires, and the game still goes on, and people get shot, fall down, and there's this huge play, but there's a large aspect that's not involved anymore. Yes? Well, only one is an identification. What you are doesn't need to be identified with. You are that, yeah? What you're not has been identified with. So when you tell the truth about what you're not, there's no need to now become identified with what you are. You are that. You've never not been that, yeah? First of all, seriously, and this sounds like a cliche, I imagine, he's talking for, but there is no one, yes, to make that leap. Yeah? There's no one who's been in the frame of self-centeredness. The frame of self-centeredness produces a sense of being a one. Yeah? That's in the frame, and then that one wants to get out of the frame, which is still being in the frame. Yeah? Being in and being out are the same thing. They just look different here in manifestation, but basically, when you're in self and out of self, there's one thing that's common with both movements is self. Yes? Once I'm in self, and now I'm out of self. It's still the relevant point. This is like, I see the presentation of, I call selfing, yeah? There's the seeing of selfing. In that seeing, that's the immunity to it. There's no you to turn around and now become identified with what's seeing, because you are what's seeing, but not as a you, not as an object, not as a noun, not as a separate soul. You're just the seeing. So, Like St. Francis supposedly said as a statement, what's looking is what you are looking for. Yeah? So at every moment, there seems to be a you looking for. And now he's saying that's what's looking. Yeah? He's not saying the you is what's looking. If you drop out of the you, the looking for is what's looking. The seeing right now that we're calling looking, which is self-centered. It's like seeing has been claimed by this mental process, selfing, turned it into a form of looking. Yes? Called I'm looking. Yeah? So it's that what's looking is what you're looking for. That's what's looking. What do you mean? The what's looking is what's looking for. Just drop the you out. Yeah? If you drop the you out, what's looking for right now, I'm looking for like someone to sort of agree with me maybe. Give me an inclination that somehow it's the light's going on. Come on, give me something to work on. What's looking for is what's looking. If you drop the you out, that's all. And the fact is, there's really no need to drop the you out because there is no you. So, truly, what's looking is now taking an interpretive form called you looking for. That's all it is. Yeah? Yes. The thing is, you see, if you look at a thing that Course in Miracles used to always harp on, which is you and I give everything the meaning it has, yes? So let's say that you and I is ambiguous. It's not a you or an I, no object, but it's representing what we are in a movement here, yeah? So that is giving everything the meaning it has. So the selfing has been giving a very big meaning, which is that it's you, yeah? So when that is dropped out, you better believe the selfing continues, but the juice that it used to seem to have to display here and to produce a chemical batch is totally immune. What? Yes, definitely.
It's like your buddy left. He moved away 3 months ago. And for some stupid reason, you're sad and you're thinking, what the hell do you think he's done? What are you doing?
Yeah, but this point was there'd be a very clear sense that it isn't you doing it. So you wouldn't be engaged with it. So the mind's thinking about someone who's not here. It's constantly thinking about someone who's not here. At least your friends seem to be here and left, but you're constantly thinking about someone who's not here. I mean, Jesus, it's sort of like missing the forest and particularly getting into the trees. You know what I mean? We're totally living in false evidence that's appearing real. And then we're trying to, how can I get the wisdom to see what's false and appearing? How can you, if you're the false evidence appearing real to begin with? Yeah? The whole point is, everything, let's say the tiniest little, miscalculation, yes? If brought into a place of space and time, is going to geometrically progress, yeah? So here it is. Let's say in the early days, the mind recognized onness, yes? Has some sentience. Something's cooking around here. So maybe it asked itself the question a long time ago, who am I? Yeah? And in the mental process gave itself its own answer. I'm me. Yeah? And me became represented by the body. Yes? So now the selfing is all about, this is its fixed reference. This is what verifies. Because if you weren't in the body, how could you ever claim sense of doership, yeah? It seems like this body does something different than that body. So if you're identified as this body, then you'll take credit and blame for what you think you did or didn't do. Yeah, it sets up this whole maneuver, yeah? Now, if you look at what you're taking to be the me, so let's say you're in that who am I, and the first thing that comes up from the mental process is me, what does that mean? What does that me entail? What does that me imply? It implies what we would call here as an experience a you, really, yeah? See, right now I'm seeing you, yes? And from your point of view, this thing that thinks it's seeing is a you. So here's the I, so everyone's having the same sense of what's going on here. I, let's say I is awareness or consciousness, is seeing, yeah? So when it's seeing in manifestation, it goes, I am seeing you. Yeah? You. Now, the same happening where you are, you're seeing, yeah? But now, instead of you being a you, you're the I, and if you ask yourself, who's that I? It would be me. Yeah? Yeah. That me is what? An identified you. Well, it's, let's say, a reference point. Yeah. So, when you're looking at me, you're the I, yes? When I'm looking, and then to you, I'm a you. Yeah? Now, when I'm looking at you, that's the I, but now you're the you and I'm the me. Yeah? So the I, and basically what I'm calling myself to be is a you that's been identified as me. Yeah? In other words, all these yous, I'm a you in this experience from that seat. I'm a you just like all the other yous are, but from here, this you's a me. That's the act of being identified. Yes? That sets up the frame, and then all the mental states are determined and incredibly influenced by the frame. You're not going to escape the mental states when the frame's in place. The degrees can change. You'll have really terrible mental states and then really good mental states, but there won't be any freedom from the mental states, yeah? And you'll be trying to figure out, how can I get help with these mental states? The sense of you wanting to get help is the biggest demonstration of the mental state. The frame, yeah? So when something happens, it happens to you. That's all from the mental frame of self-centeredness. It's all from. That constant feeling of everything referring back to a you is constructed, it's made up. It's made up by a mental process, yes? Prior to that mental process is what's actually happening here, which is contact. An aware, conscious contact, yes? Seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching things, yes? That, and we just talked a minute ago about that. There is a huge pause between that, because a mental process, the word process infers time, yeah? It takes time to make a sense out of this conscious contact. That it's you that's in contact. That's right. Exactly. It's just experience, and then it takes time to make it my experience. Now, time is elastic. We just said this earlier. So that time, which seems to go immediately so fast you're not aware of it, that, I would say, is also a pause that's infinite. Yeah? Your head can stay in that pause, and so it will notice the mental process comes after it. Yes? In other words, there'll be a sense of presence of what is actually so, and then there'll be the pseudo-presence of the mental process after it. Not at the same time, definitely never before, but after. Yeah? And in a way, the mind taking itself to be something that was appearing, yeah? When it gets the sense that it may be what sees the appearing, its emphasis leaves the object and goes into the no-thingness, yeah? So the attention, my day, is attending to things. All the while, the attention's attending to no-thing now. Because when the attention comes back to me, it doesn't stop here. It goes through this, because this is just an idea, and it goes to whatever it may be, who knows, but there seems to be a and then when it comes back in its beautiful orbit, it sprinkles a little bit of no thing on the thingness, yes? And so you travel lighter here. And that's what everyone wants as a thing, but it won't come about as a thing. It actually comes about in the sense of no thingness, yeah? So many people the mind is so stubbornly wanting to be a me, they come to meetings like this, and they just keep waiting for themselves to get it. You'll never get it. That's the message. The message is you, as a thing, will never get no thing. It's sort of like you have a certain pair of glasses, that's all you recognize is things. You can't see no thing. So you don't think it's anything. Yeah? And so someone introduces you to the idea of no thing, your mind immediately makes it something. Yeah? So that you, as a something, can get. That's not it. This is about a total disarmament. You just, hey, fuck. To me, that's why I like the word entertaining. Yeah? This gets introduced, and the mind's like in a self-centered yogic posture, like this, and you're taking it to be the way you travel, you're wondering why. And so you get other therapists or other people with just the same position, and they're like in Course in Miracles, they say unhealed healers, and they're trying to, oh, I can make it better for you in this posture. I don't want to get it better. I want to come out of the posture. I don't want to fucking get it better. Oh, a little, ooh, I feel so great. Yeah, as an experience, subjective experience, one little degree will make a big difference, but it's in a certain Petri dish. You never leave in that dish. Yeah? So, no, I don't want to learn how to live in this posture. I just don't. I mean, I just want to, I may not be that. My mind comes out of the little posture to entertain this possibility. Yeah? It can't entertain it as a thing. To a thing, it's no thing. Jesus Christ, there's nothing to do, nothing. So finally, it gets exhausted trying to make it a thing, and finally, its no thingness wraps out, and yeah? And then you see what's looking was what you're looking for. It recognizes that's what it is. Not a thing, not something I'm going to get as a thing, but my own inherent no-thingness comes open. Yeah, then you just start traveling light again. And sometimes you'll be a huge pain in the ass to people who you care about. But hey, it's part and parcel of the selfing. I always have to say, there's a disclaimer, I never promised you a rose garden. Because everything has conditioning and whatever. It's like, it isn't about, this is going to be a constant urban renewal project. There is no way, if you're taking yourself to be this, that you're ever going to get a moment's rest. You've got to have this big mental hen sitting on you like an egg, trying to cook you. It's fucking unbearable. What happens here is you just lose interest in the thing. Yeah? It doesn't mean you lose interest in something. Yes? Interest and attention is infinite. You don't have a certain quantity of interest and attention. It's put into things way, way too much, in a sense, yeah? It's starting to get you heavied out. So when interest and attention gets a sense of its no-thingness, it can attend to things very well and hold the sense or the presence of no-thingness while it's doing that, yes? It doesn't have to run into a cave and try to make a place, a thing, like a no-thing, no clothes, just sit here and I'm going to make it as much no-thing as I possibly can. It doesn't have to. It may have an inclination to do that, but it doesn't have to do it, because no-thingness is not going to produce no-thingness. It's not something to be produced. It's just as much here as what's here. Yeah? I'd say more so, really. That's the presence. The presence isn't of things. When you sense the presence, it's of no-thingness. Yeah? Oh, the presence just moved into my town. I'm sensing it. I moved right down the street. It's not a very small house. I was wondering. I thought presence would have a much better crib, so to speak. But no, it's not like a thing moved close to you and now you're getting the presence of that thing. The presence is no thing. Yeah? Isn't it? It's the sense of something that can't be seen here. We call it a feel, but it's a sense. Yeah, it's not a feel. It can translate and change feelings in the apparatus that will mimic something around it, but you can never get the essence of no-thingness.
It's always there, right?
Yeah. How could it not be? If there's a thing appearing, there's no thing. You can't have one without the other. You can't have all things and no thing, and then if there was no thing, there'd be no awareness of anything else. So none of us would have to be going to these stupid talks or anything anymore. We could care less. Yeah? But here, there's no thingness and thingness. The mind, being identified as a thing, has put all the emphasis on things. Yeah? As if things are going to bring us happiness. It's an incredible leap. Yeah? When we know that you get everything they tell you, and you get all the ducks aligned in a row, very rarely does it translate into a radical sense of satisfaction, does it? It seems not to. Yet we keep going to the same well, hoping to pull up some water. And it's nothing to do with, there's no you involved in that. It's the mental reference is so into thing, we're blinded to no thingness, you know? And all the ways we look here are forms of blindness. I'm serious. They're all trying to, increase the quality of your looking. This is a natural state of seeing. It's not that you don't, it does it, the entertaining of it is what embellishes it. Not thinking about it or just entertaining it embellishes it. Yeah?
So I'm driving to work. I'm driven to work. I'm not thinking because I've driven to work for thousands. I get to work. I think to myself, shit, I never thought about driving to work. I get at work. Boss says, you screwed up on this project. Okay, I was relaxed. I wasn't thinking too much. Now all of a sudden I'm thinking a lot. I'm going to lose my job. So there's both of these things. There's always awareness. But sometimes there's consciousness, which is the I that's thinking that. So you say, well, gee, this I better kick in because shit's going to happen if it doesn't kick in. It's like I'm driving. Hey, I'm kind of nonchalant about this every day, but all of a sudden I almost get hit by a car. I better start paying attention to this. So I'm thinking of it as a survival thing, and it's kind of a heady weight. So what you're saying is, if we can shift more towards the awareness side of it instead of the consciousness, the I involved in it, it's a lighter weight. It's always going to be both, but and you're not really that. You go around with who you really are. Certainly gives weight to that thinking. But it seems like there's always going to be this both thing.
Yeah, well, that's the experiences here. The realm of experience is a two-sided coin, yes? No matter how many times you cut the coin, you're still going to have two sides. Everything is going to be in degrees here. But that's just the experience of manifestation. And of course, if I found what you shared is the root of the major interpretative theme is the idea of being a self. If I'm not that, the whole shebang shifts, yeah? And how it's affected me as this manifestation is I've been traveling lighter for a long period of time. There you go. And really, I don't want any more. I'm not looking for enlightenment. I have no need to be liberated. None of that matters to me whatsoever. And that's the greatest joy of all. I tell you. Because there's no need to go anywhere. How can you leave what's not actually ever happened? How do you look at all the experience you seem to have had? Bring them here. Let's see them. Where are they? Where are they stored? Yeah. Where are they? Where are all the qualities that, I rubbed elbows with that lovely wave today. I'm seemingly dry right now. No matter how much I think about surfing, I'm dry. Yeah? Experiences come and go. But what's always there, and it's so always there that it's never noticed. That's it. This stream, this field, this context, I like they call it a context. The context is no thingness, and the content is thingness. Yeah? But the context, and we being absorbed in thingness, let's say, we think that's all there is. So our mind gives meaning to it and blows it up and totally forgets about the no thingness. I would say the thingness is very, very, very insignificant and infinite no thingness around it. Yeah? But as a thing, of course, you're going to think, no, this is really important. To who? You! Yeah? But I would say it's really nice to introduce a little influence of no-thingness into the realm of thingness. You'll just travel a lot lighter.
It's kind of like you're in a scary movie. For some reason, you got yourself in this
That's insidious.
whatever happened. And the ladies up in the front are yelling and screaming about everything. And you're in the back saying, hey, there you go, Dracula, calm down. At that point, one of the bigger boyfriends come up and tell you to take a hike. So you feel like the guy in the back who's telling everybody who's addicted to this drama that, you tighten up, you shouldn't be so addicted to this.
No, I actually have more joy watching you. Being addicted to the drama. No, it's just a seed assignment. I have no idea what's going on. I know I can't be of help to you. I know that. So I like to just, the best I come up with is to give you nothing. Because everyone's been getting a whole lot of something for a long time, and look at where it got us, So if I can participate in a delivery of nothing or more, that seems to be my seed assignment. So, but there you are in the movie. It doesn't give you a stoic face. You're crying and laughing and screaming. Yeah? It's not like, oh, I'm far removed from all this. I'm totally, no, you're so engaged because you're not engaged. Yeah? You're more of an individual when you're not an individual. Seriously, it's a weird paradox, if you want to call it that. You really are more of an individual when you're not one. I'm totally engaged. I cry over commercials now. I have feelings, constant feelings, and I love being scared. I would never ruin someone's experience by going, "Oh, there's not a real Dracula." No, it's a real Dracula. Ah! To me, I like that. That's juicy. Fuck, you don't want to have it. If we went through all this trouble, why do you want to fucking... Obviously, we're a participant in this place. Why not fucking enjoy a little of it? Shit. So, I love movies. And this is a big movie. Yeah. It's so wonderful that... those times you have a feeling like nothing ever happened? That's a damn clear feeling. That nothing ever happened, These things that we were shooed away from as we grew up, the feeling that we had when we were young were probably the closest, they were in the closest proximity to a clear viewing of this place at all. And then we get educated and shoot out of it all. But those feelings of, how things would come and go, like a weather front would move in, you'd be super pissed, and then 5 minutes later, that would be your worst enemy, and then you were hugging the kid, when you're like 4 or 3. Things just moved through, and nothing got stuck in a way. There was a sense of, oh yeah, this is so important, and it had no importance whatsoever. So you get the juice of both. To live a life like a piece of papyrus here. This place is juicy, and it's very sloppy, and it's great. I love subjectivity as an experience. Can you see what happened here? Every one of us gives everything all the meaning it has. In a sense, you can say there's one stage and yet 4 billion stories. I mean, how economically brilliant is that? That not one of us has the same hit of the same thing. Yeah? It's just mind-boggling to me. So, no. I just see, this is just a seed assignment, This is like my little seed assignment. It's like musical chairs. Right now the music stopped and I'm sitting here. The music may start and I may be house painting again more and more. Who knows? I have no idea what's happening. And there's not much interest in it. Just if this state of I don't know becomes quite relevant to you, because the mind itself wants to know unbelievably. It wants to be right, even if it's totally fucking wrong. It wants to be right about it, In Zen, they would say the highest form of mind, traveling here would be I don't know. In the I don't know mind, you're immediately thrust into finding out. And finding out has a lot more weight than knowing has ever. I don't care how much you think you know something. When you find out about it, it's totally different information and knowledge. And so, but it's difficult to find out if you already know. Because that knowing will be like will preempt any finding out. You'll have a specific specific agenda in the viewing of anything and everything. In the I don't know, there's a finding out. And so you're surprised quite a lot. Yeah? So you can be totally passionate about a position and then contradict it in 10 minutes. And be totally passionate about that. There's no fixed, oh, this is right. It's too moving, man. There's just too much happening here. So, yes.
So you think when you look at things like your life or what you're doing, the moment is just to see the sign, just a little bit of the weight and the pressure off, what you're supposed to be doing in your life. You say, well, this is my seed assignment right now.
Yeah.
So all the other things that are going around me, it's less dramatic if I just say, well, this is my assignment.
Well, not say it. It's a sense you have. Yeah? Let's just say this is musical chairs. If one of those chairs had your name on it, when the music would start playing, would you immediately get up? You'd be thinking, this is my seat. Yeah? This is, hey, and then everyone would be, no, I'm not getting fucking up. I'm right about this. There's nobody here. There's no self, whatever. No, there's no names on any of the chairs. You're just walking around. And then sometimes there's no chair even to sit. You just walk around and then sit down. Oh, here we go.
We tend to put our name.
Exactly. And then that's your chair, and now you're fucked. Because things are going to come and challenge your chairness. You know what I mean? And you're going to want it to be my chair. And someone's going to go, no, it's time. The music's playing. No, this is my chair. The game's ended, isn't it? Now it's just a fucking interpretation. Yes. Self-centeredness.
And paradoxically,
Can you hear me there, Jim? Oh, good. Everyone's, you all okay there? The bleacher without the sun? Yes, I can see.
paradoxically, as you sort of get out of the way, so to speak, as you start managing your life, even though in the past, I mean, I was just totally heavily involved in that. I thought everything would just fall into shit if I didn't keep an eye on it. And, work on it all the time. And let me tell you, it was a constant struggle. But now I eased up a bit. I kind of am getting the sense that, it's just all happening. I'm just, kind of pretending it's me doing it, whatever. And let me tell you, it's just so much easier. The things that happen are just so much more, I don't know, just happens easier. No dramatic change, but boy, like you said, traveling is much lighter. If I don't take the responsibility, I'm managing the show. I mean, I better take care of it, otherwise it's going to,
Yes.
Give me the best we can.
Well, the whole thing is that's finding out. You see? The mind's knowing, you'll see the resistance to finding out. It's like the mind's alliance to a failed system. It just wants to keep knowing, and it'll override all the evidence of finding out. So some people find out that they're totally okay or taken care of, yet the mind's still hopping out of this old archaic anxiety and fear about survival. Yes? Constantly playing the impending doom, like the dirge. Oh, even if it's a sunny day, it's going to be raining next week. So everyone's wearing black every fucking day, There's no response to what's happening. It's always reactions to what's not happening. The mental state is not happening. It's made up. It's got its main field is imaginary, past and future. Yes? And it takes you as an object so that it can place you somewhere else at some other time and fixate around it. That's what it does. Yeah? How could you think about you if you weren't identified as a body? How does your mind picture you when it thinks about you? It pictures you as a body, doesn't it? When it's thinking about the future and it has all these valid reasons to be worried about you, that you is represented as a body, yes? So the mind's activity in selfing is to think a lot. It's already fulfilling its purpose by thinking about you. That's it. It can't do enough of it here, so it uses here to make a there and then. And then it takes you as a fixed object and places you there, and does what? Thinks about it. Thinks about all the possibilities that could possibly happen to you, usually on the negative side, and it produces an anxiety, and then the body and the mental state now experience is the product of something that's not happening. You don't think you're a huge miracle worker? As Jesus, he brought Lazarus from the dead, but at least Lazarus had been alive. You're making something out of nothing all fucking day. Most people are not responding to what's happening. They're on a time delay and they're reacting to what's not happening. Yeah? And so it's such a drastic interpretive difference. One has your feeling of being light in life is happening to you is a huge heaviness. What you would call really traveling light in a life that's happening to you is really freaking heavy. The other is really verifiably light. Yeah? Because now life is seen as happening. Not to you, but happening. Shit. The mind is there. I have total confidence in the mind. The invitation is presented. Lots of people are sharing it. The message to be a message doesn't have to be 800 pages. That wouldn't be a message. Could you imagine if you got like a 3-hour message on your voicemail? Give me a break. Just tell me where to go and I'll meet you there. Or an invitation. You don't get a 300-page invitation, do you? You'd have to have a huge envelope. It would have to be made out of cardboard to hold the invitation. It's just an invitation. Hey, you're that. Yeah? And then we have whole meanings to stir it again, yes? This is just a catalyst. It's not producing anything. It's just affecting what's already there. It's just, yeah, and then it fires, and then hopefully you find out it's working. And then the natural thing when you find out something's working will be gratitude or honoring it. Yeah? You'll start honoring it. You'll start honoring no-thingness amongst all the thing. You'll sense the presence while you're engaged in thingness. Yeah? And then you have the ability to make it seemingly real to you here by entertaining it. Nothing else. It's not a real solid thing. It's in the entertaining of it, it becomes so. Yeah? And we have that ability. But when the entertaining quality is commandeered by selfing, then you entertain everything as a self, and then a sense of okayness becomes, I will be okay. Time gets fucking injected into it. And the time is based on what you and don't do. This will really work if I do something, or if I stop doing something. So you play God once again. The selfing plays God with life. This is about firing that thing by seeing it's you're not that. When it's not you, your interest and attention in it and all of its machinations gets withdrawn, and that's the sense of being lighter. Yeah? Now my interest and attention goes there, but they never loses its nature. It senses no-thingness. So every time a thing is sensed and attended, it echoes the no-thingness of everything. It's the best. It's like the only way it can be here is by being entertained. You can't see it, feel it, taste it, touch it. Yeah? But you can. It's here for you by being entertained. Any questions?